In this upcoming tutorial, we will code fractals. And according to Investopedia, a perfect fractal of a down fractal will look like this. And a perfect up fractal with the bars going up will look like this, which is actually this is a down fractal, and this here is the up fractal. Okay, and when we get done today, this is what we're going to have. As you can see, this here is below the candle in the front, the candle in the back. This here is below the candle in the front, the candle in the back, and so on and so on. These are our down fractals and up fractals, as you can see. And when this tutorial is over, we will be coding this right here. We have a good coding understanding of it. All right, let's get started. So to first start off with, we're going to do like we did before. We will create a indicator, and we're just going to call this fractals. I already have one created before, so I'm just going to go to fractals version 2. The description will be um, up and down fractals on the chart. We'll just say that. Change it as we go on. We want this overlay also, and we're just going to do on price change. Okay, well, we'll do the rest of it as we go along. Anything we need to change, we can change it. Go ahead and update that. All right, and let's go over to Visual Studio. Okay, so we have Fractals version 2. Let me zoom in so everybody can see what's going on. Hold on 1 second. Let me check something out. 2 minutes. All right. Okay. To start off with, let's go back to our picture. We need to do this here. We need to find the high of this candle, which is higher than the previous candle and the candle before it. Now, how do we do that? Well, we need to look for the high of the, it's just, for instance, let's just say this is the active counter right here. We are on the on price change, so this counter here is the active counter that is trading at this moment. This is the counter before, this is the counter before. So this is counter one, counter two, counter three. So what we can say is the high of counter two is greater than the high of counter one, and the high of counter two is greater than the high of counter three. Now, if you want to go on and say this high of counter three is greater than the high of counter four, you can. But this is all we're going to stop at right here. So with that being said, we'll come back over here to start off with, and the first thing that we're going to code is how many candles are we looking for? We need at least one, two, three. We need 3 candles at least of current bar to be active, right? But we're going to be a little bit more safe with that, and we're just going to say, hey, close this instance here. Okay, let's say if current bar less than 5, and this is return. We do not need, there's less than 5 bars on the chart. We pretty much would not be trading anyway, so 5 is a good number to start off with. And as we said, if below counter 2, we'll do, that's the other fractal. We're going to start with the high fractal first. If the high counter 2 is greater than the high counter 1, and the high counter 2 greater than the high candle 3. All right. So if that's case, then what we would do is we're going to just, let's just draw an arrow to start off with. Draw arrow down, and we'll call it this, and let's just call it arrow down. And false. Date time is the time of count of 2. Price is high, count of 2 plus tick size. We want it to be a little bit above the candle so we can see it. And let's just color it red since it's going down. All right, this is actually going to color the very last candle um, in this right here. So the last high of 2. So I'm going to go through every one of them, but because we're not doing a for each loop or forward loop, it's not going to show every single arrow, but it's going to do the last one. But we can see what's going on. All right, let's go ahead and build a solution. We'll get rid of the one we got on the chart right now and then start with a new one. Fractals version 2 is what we called it. And as you can see, here we go right here. The high is greater than the previous candle and the candle that's coming after it. So that is a fractal. And that's the candles that we are looking for. All right. Now, NinjaScript uses C# as the language. So C# is a object-oriented programming language, which means that what we're going to do is we're going to build this indicator, and after this, we're going to code trend lines. We're going to take these fractals and make trend lines out of them. So after we build this indicator, we will build another indicator after it, but we're going to call this indicator to the trend line indicator that we are building. That way we don't have to code this information over again. It'll be already be available for us. All right. And let's just see how much longer that we have. Okay, we got halfway through. Okay. So with that, what we're going to do is just go ahead and create us a class. We're going to create a class to save the information that we just built. Let's call it, it's going to be a public class. We'll call it down fractal. All right. And with that down fractal class, we're going to have it take a time. Let's call it time. Let's call it date. And we're going to set it as also a double price. I think that's going to probably be the only two things that we're going to look for at this time. And we're going to go ahead and also create one for the other ones we're looking for also. Put class up fractal. This here lesson is going to take a little bit longer. We're going to take a couple videos to get this here done, but we were going to explain everything that's going on with this, how to get everything done. All right. So we're just going to keep this area here so we know what's going on. We'll just go ahead and comment it out for a second. And let's go ahead and come up here to the top and create a list of, what do we call it, up fractal. And then up fractal sounds good, equals new, list up fractal. We're going to do the same thing with the down fractal. We're not teaching C# here, we're teaching NinjaScript. So it is things that we already know. If not, we can research it. If you got any questions, let me know. We'll go over things a little bit deeper. Okay, so if we already got a high fractal, so what we want to do here is just save this as a in this class here, so we can pull it from the other indicator that we're going to create. So we're just going to say, what's that, down fractal? Down fractal. Let's call it DF. Equals new down fractal. Okay. Now let's say DF dot. Let's say bar number. I think we have something created. That's to say down fract. Fract dot. I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. Down fractals. I have another indicator created with the same thing, and it's mistaken this one for that one. So we will change it up. Down fractals. Okay. PF dot. There we go. Price. I will explain to you what's going on here in a second. Why that happened. Defract dot date equals the time two. Okay. Why it was pulling information from this other list up here. I got another class up here called fractals. As you can see, I got down fractal right here. We'll just recreate the same thing. And the reason why is we come down here, it's a public class, which means that it can be pulled from any indicator that we have available in this in the indicators folder. So there was already a class called up fractal, and so when I typed in, that's exactly what it thought it was looking for, that class. So I just changed it up. Okay. And as we can see, we are saving all of this information into a instance of a down fractals, but we want to save it to the list also. And what do we call that list? We call that list down fractals. So we'll just say down fractals, add df. Okay. Now, since we got that added, let's go ahead and do the opposite. So much time we got left before we start a new video. We got 3 minutes. So after we do this here, we're gonna break from this and we'll start another video. So if low 2 is less than low 1 and low 2 is less than low 3, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to say the up fractals. Up fractals, we call it UF. Create a list, or you got it created. So UF price equals 2, UF date equals 2. All right, and that's it for this video, and we will continue with the other video that we got coming up.